So thousands of years ago, people made the observation that apples, when they fall off the tree and get a little bit of damage on them, start to ferment. And you can imagine people bringing together a bunch of those, crushing them up, and this is probably one of the earliest alcoholic beverages, along with honey mead. So more recently, the process of making cider developed in Europe as a way to have clean drinking water. So we don't think about it now because we've got lots of cheap, easy water, but 1,000 years ago, having clean water was a big deal, and so one of the best ways to do that was to mix your polluted water with something that had some alcohol in it, and it turned out fermented apples was a great way to do it. And so cider really developed in Europe and then came to the United States during the colonial period as a way to have safe water to consume. So apples were planted all over the United States primarily for that purpose, and this lasted until sometime in the mid to late 1800s when we had two different events happen. The first of these was the development of deep water drilling, so you could actually get to safe water on a predictable basis without having to add something like cider to clean it. And then the second was, of course, the Prohibition movement. And between those two, it really knocked back the traditional fermentation of apples into cider. And it created a confusion where people started calling cider all kinds of other things, including just plain old apple juice. So more recently, what's happened is that there's very much been a cultural renaissance and an interest in things of the past and in diversity. This is particularly among people we might call foodies, and their desire to really diversify their diet, often eat locally. And so that led us to kind of a renaissance of cider since the 1970s. And quite recently, in the last 5 or 6 years, it's really gone crazy. And cideries are popping up all over the place, including here in Texas. And we're starting to see more cider apple orchards being grown. And the diversity of the apples that's being produced is also on the increase. And this is really a great thing for those of us who have found this product, find it interesting. Because now, here at home, we're going to be able to start having lots of diverse products that we can consume and enjoy.